The glass kiln. We use an FCO 110 enamelling kiln to fire the glass paint onto the glass. The painting and firing of glass as we know it has been around since the 9th century. At its most basic, glass painting is not entirely different to pottery painting. Various metal oxides are mixed with a base to allow them to be spread or painted onto the glass. The bases can be oil or water based. Firstly, the water-based glass paint fires at a lower temperature. This allows us to use a smaller kiln, thus reducing firing and cooling times. Also, water-based paints have the benefit that brushes are easier to clean. Once the glass painting has been completed and allowed to dry thoroughly, we must prepare the kiln shelf. At high temperatures, glass can become soft and even melt completely and stick to an untreated shelf. Even at lower temperatures, if the glass even partially sticks to the shelf, it will break upon cooling. There are two ways we use to prepare the kiln shelf. The traditional method is to lightly dust the shelf with plaster of Paris powder. This works in much the same way as flouring a baking tray in cookery. The second method is to use fibre paper. Fibre paper is made of very fine alumina and silica threads. The paper can be cut to size with scissors. During the firing process, the paper disintegrates, leaving a non-stick layer of powder. The firing process with this FCO kiln is quite simple. The glass is loaded onto the treated shelf and the treated shelf inserted into the kiln. The kiln door is then closed. After a process of trial and error, we settled on a time of 18 minutes for the firing. A shorter time than this, and the paint doesn't always fuse to the glass. If the glass is left in longer than 18 minutes in the kiln, then the heat can cause the glass to melt. Some timing variation is necessary for thicker or thinner glass. Once the time has elapsed, the kiln must be allowed to cool completely before the door can be opened and the glass removed. Opening the door on a hot kiln will cause cold air to rush into the kiln and the thermal shock will shatter the glass.